Jonathan Clements, From Here to Financial Happiness, Enrich Your Life in Just 77 Days. Embark on a 77-day path to financial happiness as we delve into key highlights and the overarching messages of Jonathan Clements' book, From Here to Financial Happiness, Enrich Your Life in Just 77 Days. This book summary explores the crucial concepts of saving money, creating emergency funds, understanding our financial instincts, maintaining sound finances, and gearing our minds for retirement. Get ready to discern vital principles, tips, and wisdom to enrich your financial journey and the steps needed for safeguarding your future.
Smart finance decisions. The principles of compound interest and simple rules for financial health can apply to everyone's financial journey. Starting with understanding the power of compound interest to grow savings, utilizing employer-backed retirement plans, and maintaining zero credit card debt are fundamental steps to being financially savvy. No matter your financial background, everyone can benefit from understanding the basics of compound interest and simple financial rules. Compound interest, a phenomenon that accelerates the growth of your savings, serves as the cornerstone of a healthy financial future. For instance, if you have a $1,000 investment with a 6% annual return, your earnings will grow exponentially over 30 years, $5,743, due to compound interest at play, rather than netting a mere $2,800 without compounding. Once you've gained a grasp of compound interest, focus on the straightforward rules that guide sustaining financial stability. Begin by maximizing your employer's retirement savings plan. Generally, employers contribute up to 50 cents for every dollar, up to 6% of your salary, to your retirement plan. By investing the full 6%, your retirement savings will grow significantly over time, reaching a 9% total contribution from you and your employer combined. The second cardinal rule for maintaining fiscal health is to avoid carrying debt on your credit card. With credit card companies potentially charging interest rates of up to 20% on outstanding balances, it's crucial to prioritize paying off your card in full each month. Failing to do so means losing your hard-earned money to those high interest rates. Incorporating the basic principles of compound interest and these simple financial habits can lead to a brighter and more stable financial future for anyone, regardless of their current financial standing. Build your emergency fund. Financial worries can disrupt our peace of mind, which is why setting up an emergency fund is essential. Aim to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses, depending on your profession and job security. To create an emergency fund, determine the necessary amount, open a high-yield savings account, and automate contributions from your checking account. Be prepared to cut extra expenses if financial hardships arise. Achieving financial stability is a priority for most people, as struggling to meet month-to-month expenses can lead to stress and sleepless nights. One integral step towards financial security is establishing an emergency fund. The purpose of this fund is to provide a financial cushion against unexpected events, such as job loss or long-term unemployment. An emergency fund should ideally cover 3 to 6 months of your average living expenses. If you work in a specialized field, ensure that your emergency fund is sufficient to cover a longer period, as job searching may take more time. It's best to keep your emergency fund in a separate account, such as a savings account or a safe investment, to avoid dipping into it for non-emergencies. Setting up an emergency fund is a straightforward process. Start by analyzing your monthly living costs to determine the required size of your fund. Next, open a high-yield savings account to store your emergency money. To make the process hassle-free, automate monthly contributions from your checking account into your new savings account, and continue these transactions until you achieve your target. It's important to remember that an emergency fund prevents overspending on non-essential expenses like theater tickets or fancy clothing. Step back and consider which expenditures you can eliminate should financial adversities emerge. Obvious choices include cutting back on eating out, but you may need to take more drastic measures, such as relocating to a less expensive apartment, if circumstances are not improving. In conclusion, establishing an emergency fund is a vital aspect of financial preparedness. By setting aside resources for unforeseen situations, you can reduce stress and maintain control over your financial well-being. Instincts, finances, and balance. Although we're evolutionarily conditioned to actively forage for resources and value hard work, these instincts aren't always beneficial for our modern finances. To maintain financial balance, calculate fixed monthly expenses, ensure they don't exceed 50% of your pre-tax income, allocate 12% towards retirement, and responsibly manage your discretionary spending. Throughout human history, our instincts have allowed us to survive and prosper. However, some of these evolutionary inclinations can negatively impact our financial well-being. One such habit stems from our nomadic ancestors who had to seize every opportunity to gather food and supplies for survival. This urge to gather resources has carried over, causing us to overindulge in today's consumer-driven society. Similarly, our innate survival instincts have led us to place excessive emphasis on hard work. While our ancestors needed to expend considerable effort hunting and foraging for success, modern-day individuals sometimes equate hard work with success without proper planning, which can result in poor investment decisions or failed businesses. To overcome these deep-rooted impulses, it's essential to monitor your finances regularly and maintain a balanced financial plan. Start by calculating your fixed monthly expenses, such as rent, mortgage, and utilities, which should not surpass 50% of your pre-tax income. Next, add up these fixed costs, monthly tax contributions, and your savings target, ideally dedicating at least 12% of your income towards retirement. After calculating these numbers, subtract the combined total from your pre-tax income to determine the amount you can allocate for discretionary spending, including hobbies and vacations. By understanding and managing your finances, you can ensure financial stability while enjoying your life, striking a balance between instinctive urges and sensible monetary decisions. Mastering frugal finances. Financial success is not about secrets or shortcuts, but about cultivating good habits, particularly frugality. By reducing expenses, avoiding unnecessary splurges, and escaping the monetary trap of unhealthy habits, anyone can pave their way to a more secure and thriving financial future. Becoming financially successful doesn't involve any hidden secrets or shortcuts. It all boils down to establishing strong habits that support a healthy financial outlook. One of the core principles for achieving financial stability is embracing frugality. Start by finding ways to cut back on your monthly expenditures. It might involve downgrading your internet package or trading in your gas-guzzling car for a more efficient model. The point is to take the first step towards lowering your expenses. Next, resist the urge to spend on non-essential items or luxuries that don't contribute to your long-term goals. There's no need to splurge on a fancy couch when a second-hand one serves the same purpose. Think twice before investing in expensive equipment for a new hobby, as impulse buys can quickly drain your funds. Frugality also has an interesting side effect: it can positively impact your health. Poor spending habits often coincide with indulgences such as gambling, alcohol, coffee, and cigarettes, all of which can be addictive and harmful to your well-being. To help motivate a change in spending behavior, consider the monetary repercussions of these guilty pleasures. For example, tally up the daily cost of an unhealthy diet or the literal burn of your hard-earned cash from smoking cigarettes. Then, calculate how much you're squandering on these habits yearly. As you confront the reality of wasting thousands of dollars on detrimental habits, you'll likely find the incentive needed to quit and redirect those funds towards a more secure and prosperous financial future. By embracing frugality and letting go of reckless spending, anyone can pave their way to success. Smart insurance choices simplified. Insurance, at its core, is a practical and simple way to pool risk. Policyholders contribute to a pool, and when unfortunate events occur, they are covered by this collective fund. To make smart insurance choices, assess your life stage and financial situation. As a young professional, disability insurance is worth considering, but you may be paying into it without realizing it. Make sure you discover what coverage you already have and weigh its necessity. As you advance in age and your children become independent or your savings grow, reconsider what protection you need, as the importance of certain policies will shift. Know your circumstances and decide accordingly. Navigating the world of insurance and understanding its policies can seem overwhelming and filled with complex jargon. However, when stripped down to the basics, it's a practical, straightforward concept that revolves around pooling risk. The essence of insurance lies in policyholders contributing to a collective fund that, in turn, covers any unlucky occurrences. Making smart decisions regarding insurance requires looking at your life stage and financial situation. For example, life insurance is wise for a 40-year-old with dependents, as their family would greatly benefit from the payout in case of an unfortunate event. However, once you reach retirement age and your children are independent, maintaining a life insurance policy may no longer be necessary. The same logic applies to all types of insurance. Young professionals might want to consider short-term or long-term disability insurance to cover bills in case of accidents or illnesses. Nevertheless, remember that some employers may already be providing protection for such events. In that case, there is no need to purchase additional coverage. On the other hand, if you're nearing retirement and have significant savings, disability insurance may not be as necessary, as your finances could sustain any extra expenses. Ultimately, each person's circumstances are unique, and it's crucial to take the time to evaluate your own situation to make informed decisions about insurance. By doing so, you'll ensure that you only select the necessary protection that best suits your life and financial state. Smart car spending tips. A luxurious car is often associated with career success and viewed as a status symbol. However, many people tend to overspend on transportation, resulting in less money allocated for more important things like savings. To determine if you're overspending on your vehicle, calculate your annual car expenses and compare it to your yearly income. If more than 15% of your budget goes towards your car, consider finding a solution. One suggestion is purchasing a slightly older second-hand car, as its value depreciates less and insurance costs are lower. Aim for a vehicle that's around 3 years old with under 30,000 miles. Also, avoid frequent car switching to save on registration fees and taxes. Everyday wealth-building tactics. When people think about growing their wealth, they often focus on investment opportunities, such as high-yield savings accounts for retirement. However, maintaining and increasing wealth also involves mindful everyday financial practices. Firstly, make use of credit card reward programs, such as cashback or travel points, but be careful not to overspend just for the points. Keep an eye on your checking account, ensuring that it doesn't accumulate too much money, which could be earning interest in a savings account. Transferring excess funds to savings also discourages unnecessary spending. Although savings accounts are a good start, their interest gains may be limited due to taxes. To make your money work harder for you, consider purchasing company stocks, once you have a solid emergency fund and pension. While stocks can have relatively high returns, it's important not to rely solely on them for financial stability, as they can fluctuate in value and may need to be sold at a loss in times of need. Prioritize your retirement plan. Focus on planning for retirement as a top financial priority, since it's an essential part of everyone's life. Begin by saving at least 12% of your pre-tax income each month and consider both the financial aspects and the quality of life during your retirement years. Exploring and developing hobbies now will lead to a more fulfilling and enjoyable retirement later. Money is a recurring thought for most people, and it's often spent on significant purchases such as cars, houses, or setting up a college fund. However, the primary financial focus ought to be retirement. When you look towards the future, retirement isn't a choice, it's an inevitable stage in life. Moreover, the years between retirement and death can be many, so planning for it is a must. Delaying your retirement savings could lead to financial stress. Waiting until your late 30s or early 40s would require you to put away a whopping 20% of your monthly earnings. So start saving now. Your existing student debt or desire to invest in a property should not impede upon your retirement plans. To begin, allocate at least 12% of your pre-tax income to your retirement plan each month. If required, trim other costs in your current lifestyle to meet this goal. However, a balanced retirement plan doesn't just involve financial preparations, you must also consider how you'll spend your time once you've clocked out of the workforce for good. It's easy to daydream about watching sunsets on the beach or lounging around during your golden years. But, after a few weeks of idleness, the initial sense of freedom is likely to fade. Boredom sets in and might even lead to depression. To counteract this, plan ahead and explore hobbies that you can enjoy throughout retirement. Find activities that fully engage you and offer a sense of satisfaction, interests that make time fly. Suppose playing an instrument piques your interest, don't wait for retirement to start your lessons. Begin now, so you can be proficient enough before retiring. Not only will it feel like a constructive use of your time, but it also prevents the frustration of learning an entirely new skill at an advanced age. In conclusion, sustainable financial happiness requires prioritizing retirement planning. Make sure to diligently save 12% of your pre-tax income, explore hobbies and interests, and consider the quality of life during your retirement years. In doing so, you'll set yourself up for financial security and personal fulfillment throughout your well-deserved golden years.
In conclusion, Jonathan Clements, From Here to Financial Happiness offers valuable insights into vital principles of financial stability. By focusing on the importance of saving and understanding compound interest, we can maximize our financial growth. Creating an emergency fund, curbing unnecessary spending, and reevaluating insurance policies will safeguard our financial future. Moreover, being mindful of expenses like transportation and carefully investing in company stocks will contribute to a well-rounded retirement plan. To top it off, planning for life after retirement by embracing constructive hobbies will lead to financial happiness in the golden years.